Welcome back, Keepers of the Flame. Okay, one more video and then I gotta I got stuff to do. I got a freaking class to finish off writing and speech to write, a letter to write. We got stuff to do today, and then I gotta vacuum like nobody's business. Okay. The other aspect of this that's being brought up by the cosmos right now, streaming into the collective, is women are starting to realize there's no men. There's very few men left in the world. Okay. And we do not have the time, energy, resources to waste on those men. Stop asking men. Stop listening to men. I am not fucking around. Unsubscribe from all your male talking points. Okay? There's a few out there in the streets doing what they need to do. Absolutely. But women need to lead this. Okay, this is the sun shining a light on the masculine and shining a light on the feminine. Going, who's going to rise here? The majority of it is feminine. Okay. All your time and attention and energy in building the life you want, rather than having some drag you backwards. Now, he doesn't even have to be red pill. This is going to become apparently clear. I can't tell you how many people just messaged me. I didn't look at my phone when I woke up, but a lot of people were messaging me this morning when I thought I was going to be awake. That I just had a talk with, SO, and nothing's registering. It's because of the Y chromosome shriveling to the point of unrecognizable. Now, this, because the Nazi white coats have not only suppressed it, they've ignored it. We're gonna make babies in bags. Okay, Elmo. So, we need to, I don't know why. It's because it's red. I'm associating the red with the red. That's what's happening in my brain. So the exact moment it comes into the feminine consciousness, and again, not all white women have grasped this yet, but even though they might not be part of the extremist group, they're still running the same narrative. You're going to listen to me, and it's going to be okay, and you're going to go back to being your katunk self, okay? Because I don't like any upsettedness in my environmente, okay? And we ain't doing shit, and we blah, 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 okay? No, okay? Wakey, wakey. If you ain't planning, you a liability. That goes for men and women. If you're not planning on how to get through this and removing your resources from the thing that's keeping you enslaved, you are the problem. You are the problem. Okay? That system is not going to change. This isn't going to be like Jamestown, where they're going to turn around and be like, hey, here's a few breadcrumbs, go back to normal. This is not that, boys and girls. We are past that point. I apologize if I gave you the other impression, but this is past that point now. We kind of have to come into this realization that women need to start their own circles. I did this a couple videos ago, last week maybe. Women need to start their own circles. I have seen a plethora of videos online telling darker skin pigmentation, telling other darker skin pigmentations to sit this one out. It's our problem to deal with. Okay. Sorry, the cat had an itch. So when we are proceeding forward, we really, really do, even if you have a significant other, best if you get with your white tribe women and start organizing. Okay. And I'm not telling you can't have other women in there. It's just right now I think they might be processing through some very deep wounds themselves. Okay? And we're fresh out of the chain, okay? We're still healing up the bruises around the wrist, so to speak. All right? And there's still some of our sisters left behind. And we got to learn how to process this, okay? So when we are coming, sorry, let it go. Okay, she's just grooming away, pulling everything back, finding those safe circles where everybody has the same acknowledgement, I guess if you could call it that, of what's really happening right now, and then getting clear about it. And there's white women burying their heads in the fucking sand like the Stepford wives they were trained to be. Okay, let them go. Let them go. Don't try to convince them. Don't try to reason with them. Okay, because all that's going to do in the future is when they want to reach out for actual, like, oh fuck, I am now fully on board, is that's going to cut them off. So don't put out the feeler, but don't expect anything in return. Do not expect to be reciprocated, even if it is a white woman. And especially the married ones, you have to be very cautious of those people. They are still in chains, boys and girls. They are still in chains. And just because he's a good man, it doesn't matter. Good men still get people killed. Okay? The evil is the evil. The men are thriving because the other men didn't hold them accountable. Okay? No. One of our men in our civilization down here in the Popos held any of those men accountable. Not a one. Except for, what the hell was that guy? Anyway, there was one dude. I can't remember his name. Mangione? The dude who, was it the insurance company dude? And even then, violence. Not just a simple plug from, and that's the other thing too, is we have to realize that the Y chromosome is so shriveled that the faculties might not be there for even desiring to live. We're going to probably see that about the masculine kind of bubble up a little bit here with the sun in between Venus and Mars. We're going to start to see the polar opposites of exactly how we've begun to... It's so tight. My goodness me. We're going to begin to see the exact different paths and trajectories that we're on. And it's not going to be easy. We're going to have to grieve a lot. We're not going to have to just grieve a masculine population we were deluded into thinking was going to be any sort of assistance. We're going to have to grieve a lot of feminines that have chosen their chains over their sisters and their liberation, their freedom, and their future. Okay? These are things that we need to prepare ourselves for, because it's going to come into the light here shortly. All that dust is going to settle, and we are going to see who has the wherewithal and who has completely checked out. And again, this is not requiring you to scream and yell at them. Okay? They are already suicidal, which is why they're choosing what they're choosing. Okay, so the ones that look mentally stable are the most unstable right now. Who the heck was that guy? It is no mark of health to be well adjusted to a severely sick society. If you are in any way, shape, or form right now well adjusted, you need to go in and seriously comprehend where it is that you don't want to exist here anymore, how that came about in your own system, and how to remember to love yourself again. I cannot express this enough. We are about to see just how much of the population is actually suicidal. And it's completely okay with being and completely okay with the rest of us being okay. I cannot stress this enough. The vetting process is severe right now. It's not that you don't love these people. It's not that you don't see the humanity in them. It's that when they're liabilities, they're liabilities. And you need to take that into consideration and gather up the circle, okay, that you know is looking at the reality of the situation rather than the head in the sand, rather than the love and light only bullshit, or the whatever the hell it is. Look at the reality. Shift the energy. You can't shift the energy if you won't acknowledge it. And that's the issue that a lot of people are going to have right now. If we are cowards and do not assess the situation, we are not going to handle the situation. Ducking this one out is not really a choice. This is now a global thing. The globe is watching and going, okay, I'm about to get the instruction manual on how to get my own fucking country free, because we have always been the freaking instruction manual for the globe. We have sucked at it. I sincerely apologize. We have sucked at it, but now is the chance to step up. Okay, so women, no matter what color you're is, whatever the heck plot of land you happen to be standing on, the entire population of male species is in extinction mode right now. And I mean that on a biological level. The Y chromosome is so shriveled that if you plucked it out, gave it to a Nazi white coat, they couldn't tell you what it was. Severely damaged biological stuff going on. Okay, so expecting anything from them is a little bit ludicrous at the moment. Cannot stress this enough. I know it's freaking hard, and I know we got to deal with all this shit all at once, and I sincerely apologize. But I want you to come to an understanding, a comprehension. I don't want you to stand under anything. I want you to come to a comprehension of what's actually going on so you can make clear-cut decisions and sovereign choices that are in your best interest. And this could be kind of the birth of very much separating the feminine and the masculine. Because if you knew how many people were watching not just pedophilia, but snuff films, you would lose your fucking minds. You'd lose your shit. I lost mine a couple days ago. I'm like, is this really a thing? And do not recommend you look up those numbers. It is fucking horrifying. Period. The end. Okay? It is horrifying how many people on this globe are into that. Okay? Okay. So if you come across any TikTok mother screaming at parents about letting their children on Snapchat instead of screaming at their stop. Okay. The vast majority of the women, especially, that are going to ignore this are probably living with something That's not even a man anymore. Okay. So in order for her to have to look at that, she might be putting her own life at risk. We have to take that into consideration. We have to. Women, we've been there. We know what it's like. We know what it's like when we're trying to get through to have him make better choices, and then all of a sudden it comes to our attention that it's purposeful, it's abusive, it's tyrannical, and it's on purpose. And it's all to cover up. It's all to mask. It's all to keep you out of your body so you cannot see the truth of what he's actually doing with his life. This innocent shit is gone. It's out the window. Okay? If he is abusing you, he is doing horrible things. Period. The end. If he's any way, shape, or form requiring everyone in his environment to be under his complete control, he is doing horrible shit. We cannot afford to ignore this any longer, okay? And this, again, this might not be a presenting red pill, okay? It might be a church pastor. It might be your homeboy down the block. It might be your brother. It might be your nephew. It might be your uncle. Whoever the fuck it is. It might be your ex. It might be your husband. Whatever. We need to remember, don't touch it. Don't touch it. Redirect the energy. I can't stress this enough, guys. You got to be vigilant about who you're keeping in your circle. And it's not about them reporting. It's about literally their programming has not been vetted, and they're still holding on to some sort of weird narrative that's going to not allow you to get past a certain point. Okay? Because you have to remember how the psyche works. If it's tethered to some sort of narrative that says we can't do this, otherwise we're going to die. Okay, at this point, so we're getting a little bit of a pinch now so we can live later. Rather than I'm just going to stay right now, so mass graves later. That's not wisdom. That's sheer fuckery. And it's a program running that they want to keep installed. So, gotta be careful. Okay? So if you are trying to form a tribe and one of those it doesn't matter what skin tone, whatever it is, one of those women is tethered to a 4B is going to take over the world. That's what's going to happen. If you are tethered to a man, you have some serious vetting to do. That's what I'm going to tell you. Because the sovereign women out there who know exactly what the hell is going on are not going to want to help you. You are, because you're tethered to a liability. Fuck. I don't like it either. I fucking hate it. It took me a long time. It took me way longer than it should have. And that's my fault. It took me a long time to come to that conclusion. A long time. But I touched on it before. If you are watching content that is of the 4B nature and that person is tethered to a man, they're gonna flip their narrative right quick. Oh, you're gonna take directive from him. He's the provider and the protector. You gotta listen to your man. No, that's how we got here. That's exactly how we got here. Giving them all the freaking resources to keep us enslaved. Bye. Energy gone. Toodaloo. Okay. No more. All finished. Finished. Okay. Those days are dead and gone. Okay. And you can grieve all you want. Feel it. Cry over it. I did. Oh, man. And this has been years worth of Years worth of therapy going, what is wrong with me? Why can't I just be in a fucking relationship? Well, this is on my heart. I have all this love and compassion and wisdom to share. Why can't I be in something? What's the point of giving me any of this? Right? So it comes down to the, like, how many times do you need to witness firsthand just how horrible those people programs can act? How many times do you need to pay a witness? How many times does the universe need to come up beside your head and smack you with a 2x4 going, I told you not to touch this? How many different ways do I have to tell you not to touch this? It's like a child on a hot fucking stove. Only, for some reason, we like the burn to tink, okay? And again, I was one of them. I'm like, I'm just gonna come at this from a different angle. Rather than, we're just not gonna, it's gonna be okay if we leave out the, we're not gonna, no paperwork, no blah, 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 blah. We're just gonna try it this way. We're gonna go at it from this angle. How many different ways? Nothing. There's virtually nothing in it for females. There's nothing in it. Nothing. There's nothing. They offer us nothing but abuse. That's their golden fucking ticket. We're gonna verbally, sexually, physically, financially, emotionally, mentally, psychologically, spiritually, socially abuse the ever-living daylights out of you and expect you to be grateful for it. What? And then when shit hits the fan like this, we're gonna cheer on your demise as well as our own. A what? We're gonna need you to go back in the kitchen and make us a sandwich and sit down and Netflix and chill. And then all of a sudden you think back to the past. 1930s. Oh my fucking God. It was a problem then too. Because look at what they did. I can't stress this enough. Times have not changed. Times have not changed. I don't give a fuck about your band of brothers story. I don't give a fuck. William, Sasha, Riley. You go listen to your soldiers. That's the only soldier account I need to hear. Because every other pattern in this playbook fits right into it. Abuse is the objective. It's not cruelty, it's abuse. Because the abuse takes you out of your central nervous system and completely leaves you vulnerable to katink. Okay? They give you a katink narrative so they can just pinball your life around in a fucking machine. And all you gotta be is like, not on my dime. Not on my dime, you ain't doing that to me or anybody else. Not on my freaking dime. Bye, Felicia. Not on my dime. Pull that plug. Okay? And yeah, it's gonna get squeezed. Okay? But this is the problem with the other masculine that is not probably looking at red pill themselves going, what the fuck? I hate to do this, but any woman who has lived through this on a repeated level basis, and if you're not one of those women, I'm highly suspicious. I'm highly suspicious of what's going on in your system and how you just get to ignore 1 out of 3 women in your environment. I'm really suspicious of you. Okay. So, men unfortunately have not done a very good job of A, holding their own accountable, and B, making up for anything. They can spout a lot of truth, but boy, when it's time to step up, oof. And there are a few out there, and I fucking salute you. Freaking rock on, dude. Thank you for being, or I should say thank you for remaining human. Thank you for being out there, doing what you're doing, speaking the truth, and whatever else. I cannot express how few and far between those men actually are. Because if they are out there, they're not really showing themselves very much right now. And this should have been their signal. They should be flooding the internet with wisdom, advice, whatever it is. Just flood the system. And they're not. We've got lawyers coming out in defense of the dude. We've got a whole plethora of men trying to. So, if you are one of those men who are like, I got a plan, and the 4 corners got a plan, okay? The only problem is like being a small isolated community is not the answer right now. It's not the answer. Okay. This is now a global issue. We just invaded one country, we're fixing to invade another, and then the other threatens to. We need to make sure that we don't become a Abrahamic country in the process. Okay. There's a lot of things that could go wrong here. A lot of things that can go wrong here. And men are going to be the ones that ensure that things go wrong here. Because that's continuously been their pattern throughout history. This has to be in women's hands. It has to be. We don't have a choice anymore. Okay? It's either that or we get under a different Abrahamic, psychotic, shithole narrative, and then we're fucked again. Okay. Minnesota has I believe, a Muslim woman in charge of one of their seats in government. And they got busted sending billions over to Saudi Arabia, the child trafficking center of the fucking universe. We need to keep this diligent. We need to keep this clean, safe, and sovereign, because this is not acceptable, and we do not have to take it. And we do not have to align ourselves with what we have more than enough evidence will sabotage us every single solitary time. They will abandon us, they will trip us up, they will lie, they will cheat, they will steal, anything to feel like they have the power and control in the system without actually taking responsibility for that and doing anything with it. Okay? Yeah, it's a hot button, because this is the apathy that allows this shit to flourish. And that makes you a liability. We cannot afford those right now. So, if your significant other is telling you to just sit down and shut the fuck up and eat your popcorn and watch your Netflix, yeah, take a break. But if you're not planning together, if he's not aligning with what's going on right now and saying, okay, here's the strategy, here's what we're going to take out of the system, here's how we're going to stop funding our own genocide. If he's not saying those words, he is now actively seeking not only his but yours as well. That is a tough pill to swallow, especially after probably years of. Okay. So, and again, it's your choice. I'm not telling you, I'm just telling you what the deal is. Okay. If you are not actively taking action, you are actively allowing genocide. It's just how it is right now. It's not a teeter-totter. It's a, if you don't pull your resources, you're letting them parasite you and take them and use them for their own purposes, which has nothing to do with your best interest. Again, please see someone about those suicidal tendencies. Thank you. Okay? It's a tough pill to swallow, and then you got to deal with that crap on top of it. I completely comprehend. But we're not going to lie anymore. We're not going to sit back and say, hey, you know, why don't ya? No. I don't know why Minnesota freaking weirdo accent came out. Maybe it's because Minnesota's directly telling us it doesn't matter if you're white, women. And then Florida, Jackson, Florida, is telling us it doesn't matter if you're underage either. We'll raid your high school without your parents there. Hi, Epstein. Okay, so I love you. Keep your flames, and do not let anyone have control or a fire extinguisher or whatever the hell it is around your flame. I am serious business. We have had enough. Enough is enough. Whatever the hell that station is. The only thing is it's not Democrat, Republican anymore. It's not. That died too. That got shot in the face too. Okay. So this is humanity against the psychopathic, tyrannical, red pill stringed Agent Smith clan folk. Okay, and they are far fewer than you're led to believe. A lot of those things are bots on the internet, just repeating one comment after the next. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Bring it back in. Safe, sovereign. Redirect the energy. See the pattern, redirect. See the pattern, redirect. Alchemize with your own energy. Take care of yourself. Do some lovely things for yourself, okay? Self-love, self-compassion is the actual frequency you want to get on. You don't have to be happy. You don't have to be joyful. You don't have to be the typical high vibe you hear. It is radical self-compassion, fierce love for yourself. And that bubbles out into humanity. That's what they don't want you to do. So do it. Fucking rock it. I love you. Keep your flame.